All right, first and foremost, give all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahweh. Give a sincere greeting to the brothers and sisters scattered across the four corners, teaching this word with sincerity and charity. I'm Brother Phoenix with Prince of Power Israelites. Another short lesson, maybe really a testimony. Um, recently, we had a brother. We was closing out the Feast of Dedication this past week, and we had a brother give a testimony that he received a great promotion at a job. You know what I'm saying? He's very enthused about that. And, he, just to make a long story short, he said that the woman, the Edomite woman, right, who promoted him, gave him this position and said to him when she gave him this position that I trust that you can do this because of your faith, because of your belief system. I trust you in this position due to the fact that his credentials didn't say that he could do the job. All right, his work history didn't say that he had the ability or to do the job. His credentials didn't say that he had the ability to do the job, but his faith did. His faith did. His belief system did. His obedience to the words of the Most High, to these law, statutes, and commandments. These are the things that gave him the credentials necessary for this woman to give him this promotion. All right, this what made her feel safe. And trusting him and allotting him with these responsibilities and running this company for her. All right, so it's a couple things. Now it's another testimony. I just go ahead and get both of the testimonies. I'll look at another testimony I heard a couple years ago. Kind of the same thing, but it was an Israelite community. I forget the time. I think it was in Tennessee. It wasn't Straightway. It was in Tennessee. This was late '80s, something like that. And she was saying that everybody, that the warehouse, because of the first couple Israelite men that they hired, they wanted to hire every Israelite man that was in that community, and so the whole community pretty much worked at this particular warehouse because of the strength of those couple that, that light that shine off of those first couple brothers that got hired. They wanted to hire the whole community, and not only that, but the school system also, because of how obedient the kids were and how they were set apart. They also allotted them buses, and let the women work in the kitchens and stuff like that, get them jobs within the school system, to to help with their kids. But not only that, to still keep them set apart and separate. So they gave them their own buses, to take the kids to and from school, where they didn't have to wait on no school bus to come pick them up, or because it was so many of them also, the school system made those adjustments, which they didn't have to do. All right, they didn't have to make those adjustments. And so there's a few examples, and I'm sure y'all have, other examples within your organization, or, within your family, or, your own personal testimonies. And those need to be heard. Brothers need to hear certain, and sisters need to hear certain testimonies to be encouraged, right? To be encouraged to continue on in this walk, because it can become, a little burden. It can become a little burdensome. So you need those things to uplift you, man. So you can stay on fire, man, and that you can trim your lamps, man, and keep that thing burning until we get out of this thing. A couple of scriptures I wanted to bring out. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6. It says, "Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of nations." I keep therefore and do them, talking about the law, statutes, and commandments. Let's continue. Which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this is a great nation and a wise and understanding people. For what nation is so great, who have God so nigh unto them as the Lord our God in all things that we call upon him for. I say, surely this is a great and understanding nation, as they see all these laws, statutes, and commandments that we are keeping. And so, you have to let your light shine. And I want you to, before this thing ends, I want you to really observe and ask yourself, would you hire your Israelite brothers? Are we being examples of that light, of that beacon, that will say to any employer, in this captivity that we in, we gotta work for these folks that will have a light that says you can hire the next brother that's wearing fringes. Or are you one of those, or are you scared to wear your fringes because you may not get hired because of it? You know what I'm saying? How are we letting our light shine? How are we letting our light shine? And then you go into that light being shining, Matthew chapter 5, verse 13. But I'm not going to read that time purposes. Let's look at Psalms 44, verse 14. Thou makest us a byword among the heathen, a shaking of the head among the people. Are we going to these occupations or to these slaveries? You know what I'm saying? Being a nuisance. You know what I'm saying? Not doing what we supposed to be doing, and then making it hard for the next brother who has fringes on to go in there and get the Sabbath off, right? Go in there and have a hard time getting employed because of the last brother who said he was a Israelite was cussing everybody out that was in there. So let your light shine before men. Let it be a good light. Let it you know what I'm saying? Let these nations see that we are wise and understanding people by observing our light, not us telling them that we the great, not us reading Deuteronomy 7:6 and just slapping them in the face with it. No, let them see us. Let them see our faith. All right, let them observe our faith. And that's all obedience is. It's the observable fruits of our faith. Let's look at Proverbs 16, verse 7. We'll close out with this. When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. So we have to understand, if we having these confrontations with these outside nations all the time, going back and forth, even being labeled these hate groups, are our ways pleasing the Most High? Are our ways pleasing the Most High? Are these nations looking at us as a wise and understanding people, or are they looking at us as, you know what I'm saying, a shaking of the head, a byword in the proverb? Like you got Muslims who have torn, who have allegedly brought down the Twin Towers, and we on the same list with these people. So we have to observe those things. And I really want you to ask yourself this now. Really want you to ask yourself this. Will you hire, how many of these brothers will you really trust with your company? How many of these brothers would you trust? How many would you trust with $100? Let alone be in charge of your business. You know what I'm saying? So we have to look at these things, and if you don't have many that can do that, if you feel like you don't have many that can do that, there need to be some reproof, there need to be some correction going on amongst Israel. But I just wanted to give you that testimony, and coincidentally that I just did a class on, we just went over a class on spiritual influence. That video is up on our YouTube page, spiritual influence. I just did that video this past Sabbath, and then the brother came in with that great news around midweek. So with that, I'm going to say shalom, and I hope that was edifying to the body. Of course, there was a plethora of other scriptures, but I know a lot of times, man, a lot of these videos don't really get looked at past 5 to 10 minutes. So with that, I'm going to say shalom, Israel.